Remember now is Erling Haaland and not Mohamed Salah or Heung-min Son, who came into the season as the betting favorite to win the Golden Boot. The Norwegian netted a brace in his Manchester City debut at West Ham on Sunday. And you know he's already comfortable moving from the Bundesliga when he netted a brace worth of S-bombs during his post-game interview out in London. Oh, Erling Haaland has arrived, and that spells trouble for the rest of the Premier League. These are the very early first edition of the power rankings according to Luis Miguel Echegaray, and he does have the defending champs up there. Tottenham right there, Gunners right there. Now, what might be interesting to see is Fulham ahead of Liverpool, given the draw and the Mitrovic brace as well. And, of course, Jesse Marsch, we always keep tabs on him. His Leeds United squad against Wolves getting the 3 points there, entering the top 10. And with that, we say hello to Luis Miguel Echegaray, host of the Que Golazo podcast, and on set with me, Tomas Rongen. Guys, great to be with you. Luis, I'm going to start with you. You put this whole thing together, of course. No surprise, Man City, Pep Guardiola at number 1. But what stood out to you about unveiling their new striker and number 9?
I think Tommy and TR is going to agree with me. We've been saying about this for months now, even when the announcement of the Norwegian star arriving to Manchester City was that Man City was already a complete product, right? They already delivered in the Premier League, winning without needing a natural number 9. And now, not only do you have a natural number 9, you have the future of the game, or the present of the game, whatever argument you want to raise. Erling Haaland is an unbelievable athlete, an unbelievable player. Somebody that is not just good at goal scoring, but the evidence that showed this past weekend, and we can see the penalty here, so calm and composed. But I think the second goal, when we'll see it in a second, is even more evident, and there's his classic celebration, is that this man, look at this timing of this run. Just the way that he controls his run, controls the finish. And we said last week, Tommy Tran, that one of the biggest things is going to be the partnership, the chemistry between this man right here and Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best players in the game as well. And we saw that evidently in that second goal. Man City are now a complete package. Can they do it in the Champions League finally? Can they do it elsewhere in cup competitions? It's why after week 1, after match day 1, I have this team who very resoundly beat a West Ham who had no answers, right? More than 75% possession, etc. This is a Man City team at this moment with Erling Haaland that's ready to take over. And by the way, you know, Julian Alvarez can come off the bench, Calvin Phillips, a tremendous performance from Erling Haaland, and Man City, the rich just keep getting richer, Tommy Tran. I don't know what else to say. My number 1 in the power rankings. Yeah,
managers are going to have nightmares because that second goal, if teams are chasing, you pop it to Haaland, and that's what you see right there with a great pass from Kevin De Bruyne. TR, I'm going to start with you. We'll get both thoughts on team number 2 in the power rankings, which is Spurs. Because for a long time, Harry Kane, best striker in the Premier League. Haaland may be challenging that, although they also look good with Kulusevski really shining in terms of that front 3.
Yeah, he certainly did. A goal and an assist, by the way. 9 assists since January when he made the move. More than any other player in the top 5, by the way. And well, you know what? They're better now going forward. Kane and Son taking a back seat, an assist between the two, which is brilliant for Conte, obviously. Pressed a little bit, which is not normally what you see from them. Turnovers caused some problems for it. And the biggest opening weekend win for this team. The hype, by the way, Tommy, is justified for this team. And in particular, LME has been very high on, obviously, Conte and this team to finish very high in the table. I think maybe if you look at Arsenal, you look at Manchester City, I say Tottenham, the best performance of those 3 in second in the power rankings, and justifiably so. It was just brilliant execution. And as I said again, they travel next week to Chelsea. That's where we're going to find out a lot, not only about Tottenham, but also about Chelsea that nearly won 1-0. 3 points for them as well. So that should be a big game next week for Conte and the boys.
Tommy Tran, Manchester United fans are probably, I mean, obviously, aside from what happened this past weekend and what's been going on in the last few months, they're probably still also lamenting the fact that they could have had this man. They could have had Antonio Conte had they persuaded him a little bit more, but no, they didn't. And Tottenham are obviously the recipients of the success of this Italian manager. And like TR said, this is a very, very good side who's looking very attractive for so many reasons. 1, the Conte system. But 2, now that you have Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, and Kulusevski, by the way, who I think is going to have a very good season, they now look like a team that, because they conceded early, it was actually Southampton 1-0 leading in that game. But it doesn't matter with the Conte system. They just keep going and going and going. So good off the ball, so good on the counter. And when you have somebody like Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, I mean, the list goes on. And those wide players, I mean, Perisic is back in here now. This is a very good team. The question is, because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, can Conte's team continue to develop, including the fact that they're in the Champions League? Time will tell. But power rankings, number 2 after much they won, 100%. Tottenham is fantastic. And North London is looking good because Arsenal, for me, are third.
Yeah, they got their defenders Dyer and Sessegnon scoring goals for the first time in a long time, and Perisic still on the way. So we'll look at that again. Stamford Bridge, Chelsea, and Spurs Sunday coming up. And let's get to the third team here, Thomas Rongen and Arsenal. Of course, they played on opening day on Friday against Crystal Palace. Got a nice result at Selhurst Park.
A brilliant result. And their possession, the technicality of all 11 players, Arteta-like, the way they move the ball is very pleasing to the eye. And then, you know what? The debutants. Saliba in the back was huge. Played for Marseille last year, came back in as well. Calm on the pressure, won every aerial duel, 8 recoveries, 6 tackles, 1 no foul. He's a young Rio Ferdinand, in my opinion. Brilliant performance. Zinchenko, the assist, obviously, brilliant. His pass completion was 92% out of those wide positions, which is huge for this team, without a doubt. You know, and Jesus, although he didn't score, 18 touches inside the 18-yard box. So they got in good positions. And this Arsenal team is way improved and absolutely brilliant. Clean sheet, always nice, you know, for Arteta and the boys, but a very good start for this team. And by the way, Miguel Arteta is the second quickest guy to win 50 games. Arsene Wenger took 4 less games to do it. So Arteta, well done Arsenal by sticking with their head coach as well.
Immediate impact for Zinchenko came from Man City, and of course things are expected of Gabriel Jesus there for Mikel Arteta, who is an assistant with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Let's get to the 5th team here, Newcastle, Luis, and it's interesting because I'm curious to get your thoughts how you view them, because yes, they're improved, they spent a lot of money, but some die-hard fans may think they're ready to challenge for Europa, maybe Champions League. What do you make of Newcastle early on?
Well, when you talk about Newcastle United, Tommy Trent, you have to begin always with the controversial purchasing by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, you know, because that obviously leads the narrative of where we are now and why they are the richest club in the men's game. And to your point, you know, they have this treasure bucket to, you know, spend on players. However, they haven't done that actually. They haven't gone crazy. Eddie Howe has said over the summer, look, we're not going to go insane here. We have to think about this step by step. And I begin with Eddie Howe because he's a very, very good manager, somebody that understands exactly how the system should work, which is obviously possession-based, but at the same time being very good of the ball. And now everything begins defensively with Newcastle United. A great purchasing of Nick Pope, of course, from Burnley. I mean, you know, their great transfer in Sven Botman didn't start in this game. And even though Nottingham Forest were not great, obviously they're returning to the Premier League after so long. Newcastle look very calm and reassured of who they are. I do think they need just one more striker because I don't think it's going to be just about Callum Wilson, Miguel Almiron, and Alain Saint-Maximin, who's a FIFA 23 player all by himself. It's about making sure that there's a balance within the squad. And they're being smart with their money, but now it's about taking it to the next level and being confident. And it all begins at the back with Kieran Trippier being fit now, Matty Target on the other side, and a very good defensive unit between Dan Burn and Sven Botman. So Newcastle are looking good. It's just that they need a few more steps. But I have no doubt that because they have such a good manager and the identity is growing and growing, Newcastle can definitely push for a European spot this season.
All right, great to see that LME put a couple of promoted teams in his top 10 and Fulham ahead of Liverpool, given what they were able to accomplish. The Alexander Mitrovic, can he score in the Premier League? Yes, he can, Thomas Rongen. Takeaways from that
44 goals in his last 45 matches, which is better than any other player in the top 5. And the Serbian international is in fuego. And he can hurt you so many different ways, Tommy. In transition, brilliant in the box, brave, obviously, good in the air as well. And Silva's utilizing him. Silva, the head coach of Fulham, very well. But I want to also point out some Americans right here because they played against Liverpool. High-octane offense, by the way. And you know what? Anthony Robinson clung onto Salah on that side brilliantly. Tim Ream next to him as a center back. Very good performance as well of those two Americans on that left side defensively, keeping Salah through the run of play at 0 shots. Salah gets his goal through his penalty, and that was just a perfect performance of a team that just got promoted. And when you tie Liverpool, by the way, let's put Liverpool now under some duress because they're chasing now the pack, that's a great performance. And by the way, they're playing Wolves away and then Brentford as well, so they could pick up some other points, Fulham.
Got Anthony Robinson, an American international, of course, and then they also have Tyler Adams. You have Brandon Aronson over at Leeds, Jesse Marsch, and that wasn't exciting, although him and Bruno Lage got into it a little bit at the end there in their victory over Wolves. Thomas Rongen.
I've been around Jesse Marsch. I'm telling you, he wants to win every small-sided game in practice as a player, as a coach as well. He drives his team. He drives himself as well. Highly emotional and in your face and very intelligent. Picks his spots well, by the way. But talking about Leeds United and Jesse Marsch, yes, the signings, the gambled signings to a lot of people paid off. Tyler Adams gave him some bite in midfield, good in his tackling, involved in that last game with a good vertical pass. And then Brendan Aronson, I said it 2 weeks ago, Tommy, could be a star, not just for Leeds, but in this league. And he's involved, obviously, in the OG here, the winner. But his ability to go places, there's Jesse Marsch, yes, he's animated. Is he saying soccer or football? We're not sure, but that's brilliant. So both Aronson and Adams, you go back to Anthony Robinson and Tim Ream, 4 Americans that really make an impression and help their teams to success.
Luis, last one for you. You saw your top 10. You have Brighton coming in at number 4 because they thrashed Manchester United. And we are not showing you because they're not in the top 10. They come in at number 18 for you. Old Trafford, new head coach Erik ten Hag, same result. What do we make of the Red Devils?
Yeah, I would even maybe go lower had it not be from my Aston Villa. I'm so glad we don't have time left to talk about them. But Manchester United, Tommy Tran, my God. You know, there's a great line in Romeo and Juliet when Shakespeare writes, "For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo." Well, we could substitute Juliet and Romeo for Glazers and Manchester United. What a ridiculous situation is. And Gary Neville said it this past weekend. I'm in agreement. The time to sell Manchester United for the Glazers is right now. This is just awful. And this is not Erik ten Hag's fault. Erik ten Hag has to do a project. He has to figure it out. The Cristiano Ronaldo nightmare enters into his time frame in the summer. And now he has to figure that out, of course. And I didn't see anything this past weekend. And by the way, Brighton deserve a lot of credit. They're up there in my power rankings for a reason. The club that every small club should be looking at. Such a well-run club with so much excellence. And Manchester United are the complete opposite. There is no vision from a scouting perspective. There is no responsibility from a financial one. There is no direction. And Erik ten Hag is a very fine manager. And he's now entering a situation and he knows that it's bigger than what he thought. I really believe that. And this is a problem because I didn't see anything this weekend, at least even from a philosophical, strategical, tactical perspective. There was no guts. There was no desire at Old Trafford. What is happening with Manchester United? Erling Haaland, by the way, goes to Manchester City. Darwin Núñez goes to Liverpool. Now we're hearing reports that United might be interested in Arnautovic. Is that really the type of objective that Manchester United wants for the future? I mean, come on. Forget trying to get 6 or 7. Manchester United could be a team that falls even lower if they don't wake up. The time to sell United for the Glazers is right now because this club needs completely new direction.
Dark times at Old Trafford. Luis Miguel Echegaray, Thomas Rongen. Guys, great stuff as always. Great to be with you on a Monday. Que Golazo podcast. West Ham, Man City, Frankfurt versus Bayern. All that and more, including League action, LME's pod. Download and follow it today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.